SBC Media.
Welcome to the iGaming Daily podcast, analysing the news from the betting and gaming industry all over the globe, supported by Optimove, the #1 CRM marketing solution for the iGaming market.
Good morning and welcome to the iGaming Daily, and we are full speed ahead on the road to Lisbon and the SBC Summit. iGaming Daily is supported by Optimove, the creator of positionless marketing and the #1 player engagement platform. And if you're heading to the SBC Summit Lisbon, mention iGaming Daily when you visit Optimove at stand A555 and get your first month free. Things are really heating up now, and we have a great guest today to preview the affiliate side of the show and everything that's going on from that perspective, and just to talk about the affiliate industry. Such a big year for affiliates this year. John Wright. John, thanks for joining us. I'm sure our audience knows who you are. They know what you do from your podcast, a great podcast, by the way, and also from your appearances at previous SBC events. But could you just give us a little bit of a breakdown of, what you do and also what you're doing at the SBC Summit?
Yeah, it's what I'm doing there is I do have a panel called The Future of Affiliate Marketing, and it's a hot topic. I did that one in SBC Malta, and personally, I'm just pumped about the SBC Lisbon show to see the affiliate segment space grow. I mean, I am pretty biased because, I've been in affiliate marketing, that side of the business for most of my career, and we have tools for affiliates. But yeah, I think it's becoming important. I think there's a lot of operators that they don't always understand how they need to work with affiliates and how this can actually benefit everything outside of those channels like SEO, paid media. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the different speakers there. And yeah, it's you guys put together an amazing section for it. So I'm happy, but I'm biased.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see the affiliate sector at Lisbon and get some reactions there from what has gone on this year. And John, very dignified. You didn't plug your podcast in your opening gambit. Get it out there. Let the masses know. Where else can they catch you?
Yeah, just search for Affiliate BI. It's the Business Intelligence and Affiliate Marketing podcast. So we try to go a little deep on the data side. I think it's something that's not talked about quite a bit, but I'm biased. So when I see, event organizers like SBC put more emphasis on it, I just think it's awesome. I just think there's not enough emphasis put on affiliate tools affiliate tools and data. I think it's one of the criticisms we get in iGaming, that we're not as data driven as we should be. And it's not even in the affiliate space. There's a lot of really cool companies doing amazing things. I think they struggle to kind of get off the ground. I mean, like talking about amazing company, you just mentioned, you have the Optimove as a sponsor. I mean, we need more operators using smart CRM tools that benefits everyone. So yeah, it's a big focus on data.
Okay, let's open up that toolbox a little bit. As we move forward, I think it's really is an important precipice for the affiliate sector. A little bit of a turbulent year, or half a year, I guess. We're approaching the end of the year, right? But what will be those key tools in the toolbox, those key elements that affiliates need to tap into to ensure stability and continued growth?
Yeah, is a very challenging question. I mean, we try to solve that on the things that we build, but we're not the only ones that build it. And a lot of people build these things in-house. And I think the biggest challenge is whether we do this or someone else does. It's all about how do we make the tech part easy so people can focus on driving traffic and doing all that fun stuff. I think that's probably been the biggest challenge, because you're essentially asking affiliates to do two things really well. We need you to be an amazing tech company, and we need you to be an amazing marketer and drive traffic. Some people are amazing at one, and it's very challenging to be both. That's why you don't see a lot of companies just make it as big as like a casino.org or a gambling.com or, Rake Tech or Gen2. I mean, it takes a lot of work to become companies like that, or even like Better Collective. So I think if more affiliates have access to these tools, they'll get better insights. They'll be able to make smarter decisions. And I think it comes down to either automation or done for you services. So we need this on all fronts. It's not just the affiliate side. It's also like the players need seamless experiences, and the operators, they need more done for you services. So all these data tools are not like you have to become an expert like using SEO tools, but it's like okay, I know I need to be better. Can you just tell me exactly what that looks like so I have a roadmap and I don't actually have to be an analyst, because no one has time to just kind of say, hey, let me take an analyst course for 6 months. People just don't have that time.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And obviously SEO is having a big factor. Where does that sit? Is that a tech issue or a content issue or somewhere in between?
Tough questions you're doing. It's a bit of everything. I've recorded a few guests that are SEO pros, and the answers are all over the place. I mean, what do you need to do to be very good at being an affiliate today? You need a mix of branding. That's like, well, what is branding? Branding is taking care of every single click. And like, what is that? That's conversion rate optimization. So it's like when you're looking at the whole ecosystem, it's a mixture of being real authoritative content, mixed with like just having like good experiences for people. That comes down to design. We're also talking about products. So I think the affiliate space is just going to be really weird. It's not to say that you need to be data only. There's a lot of people that they're more creative on the content side, and they're like, look, I'm not a tech person. I'm just basically running a WordPress website. Or they're basically doing things like a podcast where it's like, it's audio, video editing. There's no programming there. But I think there's an opportunity for everyone. One of the biggest opportunities I see is involving AI, where the ability to create a product has never been easier. So if you want to go down these rabbit holes and start building products, I think there's always an opportunity where players want to be educated. So they want that, the better insights, but they also want to be entertained. And then that can be done through products, like build a product that's not been built before. And you don't need the massive dev team to take a big gamble to go, hey, is this going to work out? So going full circle back to SEO, it's the worst thing everyone says in the SEO space is it depends, but it's true.
Yeah, that's interesting. And John, I'm gonna shift tone a little bit. Obviously, I knew I was interviewing you. A few weeks ago, I knew we had this interview in the pipeline, and there's some obvious affiliate-based questions that I kind of had for you. Some of which I've already asked, but also these news stories are popping up, and I'm thinking, I'm excited to talk to John Wright about this. Even though they might not be specifically in your space, I think you could give me a good perspective on some of these more interesting stories that have popped up in recent weeks on iGamingExpert.com, the number one news site for iGaming news, obviously. Firstly, I wanted to pick your brains about the situation with Drake and Kick and Stake. Quite a public fallout. Obviously, I'm not sure there's a bigger streamer in the world or influencer, I guess. They've seemingly lost now their biggest streamer. He's put the company down. What a weird old situation that is.
Yeah, that's weird because it's compounded. I mean, Stake and Kick are kind of the same thing. So I don't know if that's officially true, but, I just don't want to get into legal trouble. But I mean, Drake was a big promoter of Stake for a long time. So it's kind of like, that became a big entity. And I think Stake, how were they able to level up in a short period of time and not do the long road that Bet365 took to become like a big giant? Like, how did Stake do this? They did this through the new media. I mean, social media has been big for a long time, but we're seeing like a lot of changes. So when affiliate can look at the different channels they can tap into, I mean, on the streaming side, you've got Twitch and you've got Kick. And Kick, I think they're just doing insane things. Like, I think they're more aggressive, they're hungrier, and I think they're doing the right things, like going after people like Drake to go, okay, let's make these partnerships happen. If that partnership falls apart, that's going to be someone else's loss, because I personally don't see a guy like Drake going, yeah, I'm also going to become a tech company and I'm going to create my own competitor. Like, we don't need a Twitch, a Kick, and then a third one, even though people are creating it all the time. So yeah, that's on Kick to kind of figure out. But I see it as Kick is doing some insane things with partnerships with really big people. And I don't know what the stats are right now for Kick versus Twitch, but Kick is just blowing up. I mean, it's huge. And I think it's going to, I think it's going to be the number one player with or without Drake. Wow.
Interesting. One of his criticisms to, and he went on another stream and very on brand. He went on another stream and criticized the CEO. And one of the criticisms was that they kind of put obstacles in front of him when it came to pushing affiliate to his fans. I appreciate that's a very vague quote, and I was trying to kind of make sense of that. But yeah, what's your understanding of that could have been? I didn't really make sense of that.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but it could be that maybe Drake is like, I want to cut out the business. Like,
okay.
There's a big difference between getting a flat payment. Like, let's use the worst example. Joe Rogan gets paid $100 million for Spotify. But imagine if Joe said, hey, not only do I want this high flat fee, I also want to cut out the business, because we know that some of these players can generate massive commissions. I wouldn't be surprised if someone went to Drake and said, you're missing out on having an affiliate link here. And maybe Stake was like, no, we've already paid you a lot of money, and we do pay you a lot of money. So imagine, Drake might have actually been asking for something that actually might have been a negative revenue driver for Stake. A flat fee. We know without a doubt, the guys at Stake, they're able to calculate what that fee needs to be for them to make profit. They know when it becomes unprofitable. If you throw a rev share on top of that, I mean, that's like the deals on steroid. Like companies like Better Collective and Rake Tech, they get amazing deals. But if Drake might actually be asking for something that he doesn't understand to be true, like he's probably asked for something that is guaranteed going to be a loss. That's my personal take on it.
That makes a lot of sense. Hence his backlash and them having no give on that deal, because it would stop the deal making sense for them with him. So yeah, really interesting. You mentioned kind of streaming as the future. Something that's been of a little bit of personal concern to me recently is the prevalence of crash game streams, largely from crypto operators, popping up on my TikTok. And it's influencers that have a younger demographic, maybe not minors, but we're getting close to that territory with their demographic. I'm assuming some of these influencers, and they're playing crash games in a very reckless way, I think is fair to say. Where does the responsibility lie with this? How can we stop this kind of encroaching on our social media platforms and the younger generation's social media platforms?
Yeah. I believe that the entire industry needs to collectively try to solve this, because if we don't solve it, then someone's going to solve it for us. Like, it's either going to be done through regulation, or the things that I know the gray market doesn't want is like an extreme form of censorship. So we've got like this is where it gets political. You've got blocking domains as people saying you're censoring free speech. And then on the other side, it's like, well, I should be able to have this unlicensed brand operating globally. But if we take it too far, we're not going to do ourselves any favors. We're going to create our own roadblocks, and we're going to make it difficult even when, if we assume that this space is going to eventually move over to the regulated side, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not going to make those predictions. But if we want iGaming to grow, we kind of need to work together. We need to stop doing things where we target problem gamblers and say, you know what, this is worth really good money and people are doing it. So you got affiliates benefiting from it, and then you've got the operators on there saying, oh, I didn't know that was we were on there, when we very much know that they knew this from the first place. So we need to collectively work together to clean up our own image. And this is something that doesn't look good. Maybe there is profit behind it. Only a few people will actually know this, which are basically the beneficiaries. But we need to kind of say, hey, what leverage can we do to try to stop this? Because it paints us all with the same brush. And, we don't want to be like, oh, I'm in iGaming. We want people to be like, oh, that's cool. Tell me about it. We don't want people being, you remember back in the day when, oh, you do affiliate marketing. Oh, you're the banner pop-up guy. You're the one that pisses us all up. No, we're not that. So we need to be clean. Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. I think it's a dangerous game, and whatever that profit is, it's not worth it for the bad reputation and the damage that is caused to the players as well. We're going to go for a quick ad break, and then we're going to come right back, and still lots to pick your brain on. A brief break, but we'll be back.
SBC Leaders connects the gambling industry's top-tier operators and associations to share the best ideas, collaborate on solving the biggest issues, and push innovation throughout the betting and gaming industry. If you're an operator and want to join the discussion, visit sbcleaders.com for more information.
John, before we went to a break, we were talking a little bit about influencers and influencer marketing. This has been a big subject in Brazil, the newly regulated Brazilian market. Been a little bit turbulent since its opening, I would say. Especially when it comes to marketing. we've seen a lot of influencers that previously worked with the grey market, because that's all there was. They've kind of not had a smooth transition over to the regulated market. Is there more that can be done to kind of work with these influencers?
That's another challenging problem, or a tough question. I think for influencers, depending on the markets you are in and what you have for data privacy laws, I think what influencers need to start doing more of is owning more of their audience. So you could say, well, when you have a follower, you own the audience. No, you can be deplatformed with a single click, which that actually happened on Twitch, and that's why we have Kick. So I think what these influencers want to do, it's like, how do you get the audience that is currently tuning into, whether it's daily or weekly or however often you schedule your content, you need to find a way to capture their data. So it's like, are you creating an app? Are you creating a special fan zone for these people? If you get their email, then you can at least be like, what happens if your audience might decay? You could either be deplatformed, or you might realize that, Kick is actually doing well. And if you were on Twitch, maybe you might want to position, or maybe you might want to actually split your channels and publish on 20 different platforms, kind of much like what we do for podcasts. So it's a tough one, but I think owning your audience has got to be what affiliates need to do. Because when you do own your audience, you have the ability to do a lot more from an affiliate perspective. If the regulated space is going to be difficult to monetize, if you have the audience and you have their email, you have an ability to say, if you're not happy with brand X, we've got the next brand. And that's very difficult to do, to expect the user just to keep coming back, because you never know when they're going to have, they're going to churn, or they're just going to, not tune in or not even realize you've got ads, because ads might be the most difficult part of streaming.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I've got so many avenues I could go down with you on the future for affiliates. Even more so on Brazil. But I do want to ask you about, as we kind of head into Lisbon, I think there will be some reflections on a tough year for some of the bigger affiliates. We've seen some job losses across the board at various affiliates. Why is 2026, and how can 2026 be a better year for the affiliate sector?
Yeah, it's maybe not the answer that most people want to hear, but some of them will actually love hearing it, is affiliate marketing and SEO has become harder. So what you could do like years ago no longer works anymore. And I talk to a lot of SEO people, and they say it's kind of like the lazy approach to SEO. You create your Bet365 review, you create your Betano review, you create your stake review, and you put your 1,000 words or 2,000 words of content. I mean, that sounds pretty boring, but it sounds trivial. Like, we all could do it. There's so many of these sites out there that Google's basically cleaned up their algorithm a little bit. I'm not saying they're perfect, but they've done it better. And now with AI overviews, AI is kind of like, I need quality sources. I can't just give you 1,000 affiliate sites. Like, I need to give you a curated list. So we're moving in towards this territory of needing more branding, more conversion rate optimization, and just more quality. So we're moving in the quality space. I can tell you I've lost potential customers because they basically said my sites have been decimated. And I don't even get the chance to talk about SEO because I already know that they probably don't want to hear it. And if they knew what they should be doing, they'd actually make those changes. And when I see they're not making those changes, I'm like, I don't have the time to kind of like, save everyone. I hope that we can educate them from the things that we do on podcasts where, we get to answer questions like what you're asking. SEO, I think, is going to still be important. Affiliate marketing, I do believe, is going to be growing. The first canary in the coal mine isn't affiliate sites dying, it's the operators dying. If we see them all dying, then we should panic. And because I don't see that happening, I personally am saying I don't see a panic, but I do see some affiliates getting stronger. Some, like streamers, they're actually gaining a lot of revenue on less resources. And some of the ones that just did lazy stuff that were able to make 5 to 20, 50K a month, they're just gone. That business is for someone else. The players will still always find a way to be like, I have an interest. You can either get me through my own search, or you can give me an ad. I'm still going to find my way to Bet365, Betano, stake. It's still going to happen.
And one of those avenues that, there's strengthened is through multimedia content. Obviously, something that you've done a great job of mastering in over many years. What does this look, and why is multimedia content so important? A bit of a general question, but an important one nonetheless.
Yeah. It's a good question because previously people saw social media as one example of multimedia as being you just have the audience. Like I'm here on Instagram and I'm just doing my stuff. I'm waiting to be entertained. Now these channels are being understood as being part of search engines. Like they always were search engines, but now people are actually going to TikTok and going, I don't trust Google's results anymore for the best restaurants because I know I'm going to get all these cookie cutter boring websites that are just trying to spam me stuff. Now we're seeing these influencers kind of take over the space. So, people want to consume content not with words anymore. I'm actually seeing this transition with the LinkedIn newsletter I have where it's like I'm actually seeing less of it I'm getting less impressions and I'm seeing more audio or not more audio, more video taking up the space. So yeah, it's our attention spans are zapped. We need to do it in a different way. We always like pictures. We love video. We still like audio. Words are just become too cheap because AI's made it cheap as hell.
Wow. Okay. As a journalist, a written journalist, that's a little bit worrying. But here we are on the podcast. I'm making the transition. So we'll get
You're
there,
fine.
I guess. Yeah, thank you.
Quality,
Thank you.
I will say this, quality journalism is actually, in my opinion, more valuable. The stuff that you guys do is actually going to be helpful because a lot of affiliate sites weren't actually doing this. And the ones that were doing it, they were doing it because they were just interested and they're like, I need good content. And they're doing something that's different. Now we're starting to look at and going, oh, wait, this is what you should be doing. Look at like sites like casino.guru, for example, or Mr. Gamble. I mean, they do unique content and that stuff is starting to resonate. So there's always going to be a strong demand, in my opinion, for quality journalism. It's just, there's been also a lot of lazy journalists in the past, no different than lazy SEO and lazy affiliates. It's the same bucket. But when you say the word journalist, I usually equate that to quality. You guys are safe.
Thank you. That's very reassuring words. And I would like to let you go on those words, John. And we are close on time, but I do have one more question for you. I cannot let you go without asking you a little bit about the Indian market. Obviously, sweeping changes within the Indian market upcoming. What to expect from this, and just how surprised were you by the decision for the RMG ban?
Nothing surprised me anymore. I've actually been, unfortunately, thinking that we're going to get over-regulation, which is just only going to benefit the gray markets. I mean, if we want to try to push for regulation, it's like, I think we're going about it the wrong way. Like, I've been in iGaming for almost 25 years. None of these regulators have ever hit me up on LinkedIn and said, hey, can I ask you a question since that you've seen the world go from unregulated to regulated. And we've also watched unregulated just grow at insane rates, which is still doing. So, I'm just bummed out that no one's having these conversations with people like me, people like you, where we see the space. The regulators are doing their own thing. And it's the black market celebrates without having to pay for lobbying. Here we are.
Yeah. And we know that kind of studies have shown that a big chunk of, without having the numbers off the top of my head, a big chunk of black market engagement in India is through social medias. And I think through Facebook is a big one. So, it's certainly worrying and it's something to be vigilant of. Could have left on a positive note there, John, but I don't know why I decided to transition it. Let's
it's all good. It's all info.
Yeah, from India to info is something that will be available in abundance at the SBC Summit in Lisbon. This is the Road to Lisbon series. As we continue on that road, John, why should people be coming to Lisbon?
It's become one of the big events. I remember when it was in Barcelona, it was already a great event. It just kept stacking year after year. It's a perfect time of the year. Lisbon itself is an amazing city. The event last year was just, by that time that event happened, it was my number one event on the spot. It just exceeded all expectations. There's no reason not to go. We'll see you there.
Brilliant. Definitely. And if you're going and you're interested in learning more about the affiliate space, the future of the affiliate marketing panel with John, and just reach out to John to catch up there, I'm sure. Thanks ever so much for your time and see you in Lisbon.
Joe, thank you. I'll see you in Lisbon.
Thank you for listening to today's iGaming Daily podcast, supported by Optimove, the #1 CRM marketing solution for the iGaming market. If you want to find out more about some of the subjects raised today, feel free to explore any of the sites in the SBC News Network or check out the latest edition of the SBC Leaders magazine. Happy reading.